chimichangas change, people. I don't even know. But when the proper sauces and the herbs get chopped up, there's a mintiness that you don't put mint in there. It becomes minty. The spirit of mint channels down through the frying Ouija, and all of a sudden everything's getting a bit too zesty. Bird-like figure skaters come gliding through. There's no ice. They're still gliding. You expect them to stop just because the terrain is unfavorable? No. Your hardwood floor is the perfect vessel for their grace. And when they want food, they're not eating your fake mint. No. They're going to the 5-star joints, the Michelin star joints. Hey, chef waiter. Because it's one guy. He's got like a one-man band set up, except it's hot plates and knives. You say to him, I want a souffle of carrot with a mayonnaise custard, and just starts waving around his armpit. Your meal is ready. And it's a few courses, you're not just stopping there. Kind of an ossobuco situation, except instead of a bone, there's a laser light show. Got some of that old 1970s psychedelia going. Early 1970s, I know my history. I know that when George Patankin crossed the Delaware, the fish jumped so high they got buried in the clouds, which are still water. And then for months after, it would sometimes rain fish. The history books, your history teachers, they don't have it in them to tell you this. Sometimes you'll notice when a history teacher starts talking about the revolution, a tear gathers in their eye. It's not that they're admiring the bravery of the founding fathers. It's not that they're decrying the mythologization of foppish doofuses as heroes for rebelling because their tea got more expensive. It's the fish that were displaced, just waiting for the weather to cooperate enough to send them home. Clouds drift, though. Therefore, displaced again. All of a sudden, gotta meet new fish. This trout had a wife and kids, gotta start all over because you're in a different pond now. And this isn't some sort of a redemptive odyssey where at the end of the movie the doorbell rings and fish father's there and a small egg child goes running up and cloys itself across the neck of its progenitor. No journey brings you back home, okay? Yeah, they jumped high that one time because of the Patankin thing, but you need social realignments in order for such a magnificence to behold itself. And that's all events are. They are ideas engaging in acts of solipsism. And this is how you wind up with an adventure on your hands, with blood pouring from a wound inflicted upon you by a creature with tusks for eyeballs and eyeballs for earrings. Swing back your mighty glaive. It's got 2 points on the end, in case you're stabbing twice at once. And then adventure becomes another one of these recursive sewing needles, a pulverized navel, disintegrative of all collectivity. Then you can only go up. Just ask the fish, because that was the propulsion mechanism. It was a reintegration, a reconfiguration. A fig tree planted sideways into the walls, dirt walls, like a child's anti-tree house. They dug a hole in the yard and never got bored. So now they are cave folk, and they were like, oh, let's get weird with this tree. They planted it in the wall, and they're like, ha ha, up yours, nature. And nature says, oh no, nothing's up about this. Sideways yours, kid. And then the tree jutted out at them, the leaves laughing in their faces, and there were so many of them, just a chorus of The kids ran screaming back up to the surface world, but they had become so pasty and bashful under there in the downstairs lands, the sunlight was enough to scare them right back. They're like, we gotta understand this tree, we gotta learn to love this tree. And that'll finally teach these seed-bearing planets they can't own us. We might live on them, we might depend on them, but we are not theirs to rule. And so they took a couple glasses of ice, never melting, because they crunch so many gravel pits together. These kids, they're cosmic entities. I think it's pretty clear, right? These kids have ascended by descending. Their parents are up there saying, I bet little Fedgy's gonna get bored soon. You can only dig a hole and then live in it for so many months. Boy, I wish the government would stop calling about it, though. Fedgy is now a galaxy unto himself, learning to talk to this tree, trying to sway the tree's beliefs. It's like, hey, I know nature helped you out. We planted you, though. Didn't we plant you? Fedgy turns to Nodflag, and Nodflag just nods. Coincidence. And, little by little, the tree didn't trust them at first. The tree's like, these are two of the devil. But, like all devils, these two started making some good points. Hey, tree, you thirsty? Fedgy tips a glass of some of the ice that they did allow to melt. It's water now. And the tree sips on that. The tree's like, okay, that's great. I need sunlight to thrive. And then Nodflake says, don't you worry. I got a complicated series of mirrors. They set it up so that the sunlight wouldn't bother them. They had a special sunglasses chamber to hide in during photosynthesis dinner, and then they would shut off the mirrors for a little while, and the tree would contemplate its existence, and it realized that these two demon children were a positive element of that existence. And now they are the triumvirate, standing atop the airship because they have conquered sun, fear, and gravity, and they're coming to conquer us next. So, what are we supposed to do with that information? These kids were like, oh, you can't conquer us, and now they're gonna conquer us. It's just one constant reworking of the same tale. The struggle, not for power. 'Cause look, that's what it sounds like. That's what all of the fictionists have tried to tell us it is. Oh, what corrupted this dude? Oh, he wanted power. He didn't want power. He wanted the majesty of knowing that witches could prophesy your greatness. That's different. So is it time for us to fight back? I don't think so. 'Cause then 3 of us are gonna be the new tree and 2 children. I'm just gonna hang out. Not doing that.